For Loblaw investors. Andy Hoffman, Report on Business Television, Toronto.
And with more on the situation at Loblaw, we are joined by Rick Pennycooke, a retail development consultant who has done work for all of Canada's major grocery chains. He is also the president of the Lakeshore Group. Welcome to the program, Rick.
Thanks for having me back.
So how much is this hurting the company?
Tremendously. Loblaws is really the lone wolf in their strategy. The other grocery chains have been focusing on smaller stores and staying focused on selling milk and eggs. Loblaws has gone the other way. They've gone into department store merchandise in a big way, bigger stores, all in an effort to stave off the Walmart supercenters.
So has that been a mistake to go in other directions?
I think it has. The grocery game is a game of pennies, and it costs a lot of money to change focus like Loblaws has done. The stores have grown tremendously, and that means big dollars in real estate acquisition and in their distribution network. And, they've gambled that this will be the right thing to stave off Walmart. But Walmart's coming in focusing on groceries. I think that Walmart is just going to come in the back door on this.
Because they're already here in their usual way.
That's right. Exactly.
So what about all that we're hearing about the so-called supply chain? Is that really the problem?
Well, it's certainly a big part of the problem. They have to get all this department store merchandise that they never had to source before. It's different to get that than bananas and eggs. They have to get TVs. They have to get furniture. That is a big shift, and it's. I think it's causing problems for them, or certainly being very expensive for them.
Could it ultimately pay off, though? Because those tend to be higher margin products? Higher
margin products, but Walmart is doing that. So, they're able to keep their costs low, and it's with the increased competition, it's going to drive prices down there, just as we've seen in food.
So what do? Did they back off? I mean, if you were advising them now, what would you say?
I'd say back off, but it's not my money. I mean, they've dropped a ton, and I think in for a penny, in for a pound, and they're going to have to ride this thing through. But when Walmart comes with the supercenter format and the grocery format, there's going to be blood out there, and may force Loblaws to change their approach.
Interesting comment from John Lederer, the boss there on the call today. I went a little too far. An admission. Is the clock ticking on his tenure, do you think?
Oh, I really couldn't comment on that. I think he's a very knowledgeable man, and a risk was taken in this strategy, and time will tell.
So where do you think Walmart will open when it comes?
Well, certainly we know that they're going to open in northwest Toronto and in London, Ontario, in the north part of London. There are rumors about Kingston and a number of other markets, but it's going to be done by stealth. They are going to take existing Walmart stores, which when they were approved had a little expansion area, surprisingly the same size as the grocery component.
Already built in.
Right. And so they'll just blow out the walls, and we'll see this happen overnight.
What about these rumors that have been going around this week about the HBC real estate, that perhaps Cerberus is involved or Onyx wants to get involved, and it's a real estate play, and perhaps to bring Walmarts into some of those locations? Does that hurt Loblaw if that happens?
Definitely, because it changes the retail landscape quite quickly. That's one thing that people have to remember, that retail has as much to do with moving, milk and eggs and jeans as it does with respect to real estate. A good retailer with bad real estate soon becomes a bad retailer.
Is it possible that despite all of its success, Loblaw has had its day?
Anything's possible. I don't see that in the next, decade. Stores will close. That's probably something that we may see, a Loblaw store closing, which is not something you see often. But we're going to see these little mini battles in markets where Loblaws may just say, you know what, we're getting beat, we're going to go somewhere else and focus where we've got a leg up.
Do you think that these supply chain issues, these warehouse issues and so forth, could continue to give them problems past Q1?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. These are issues that take time to iron out. I don't know if they can do it in 3 months.
Yeah. And so anything else that they should be looking at?
Well, I've always been a firm believer in sticking with what you know. And they have had and are having tremendous success in the grocery side. That's where I would have stayed.
Okay. And before we go, disclosure, any position in the company or relationship with?
No, I own no stocks. And as you said at the top, I am contacted from time to time to do work for all of the supermarket chains.
Okay. Pleasure having you back with us.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Rick Pennycooke of the Lakeshore Group. Coming up, Motorola's Razr phone helped put its earnings a cut above where they were last year, but that was not good enough for Wall Street and its lofty sales expectations. John Ehrlichman with the details on that and the reaction next.